Honestly, when the hatchery wasn't there yet.
Hello and welcome to Your Dad Learned StarCraft 2 Ladder. This is a Zerg vs. Zerg, Platinum vs. Platinum game on Darkness Sanctuary. If you're not that familiar with Darkness Sanctuary, I think it's rotated out of the most recent cycle of ladder maps. But it's basically a big map. Any four of these corners your opponent could start in, barring the one that you started in. So it can be hard to find the opponent. But speaking of which, my opponent in the upper left hand corner, playing Zerg, is Kujudify? Alright. But that's them. They're in the upper left. They just did the extractor trick and they're building an extractor. And in the lower left hand corner, your hero, your champion, your dad, playing Zerg the way that he does. And I am doing what I do, and I'm going to make a hatchery first. Because that's the build I've been doing at this point. So, let's speed it up a little bit. There's just the beginning. It's just going to be a lot of basic making units, getting our base set up. They're going with the gas pool into a hatchery. Oh, their hatchery's over here. Which is fine. They're going to make some Zerglings and try to find where I am. And I've also got my gas, my pool. We're both making our metabolic boost. The main difference right now is they're making a Baneling nest. And they probably have, full workers going on their gas. And I just have one, because I don't plan on making a Baneling nest. Because honestly, at this point in my game, I haven't really used Banelings. I'm not used to them. I know they're good. I know they're good in Zerg vs. Zerg because they're AoE damage versus Lings. But I'm just not used to them. Like, I'm just not used to controlling them, so I just didn't go for them. So, got Zergling speed. Gonna run. I actually don't see their army over there. They don't see mine. And we actually attack each other at about the same time, because they're coming in now. So they wipe all except two of my drones, and actually wipe everything they have. And it's pretty much an even trade. So here I come in with more Zerglings, kill their Lings, and this is a huge mistake right here. That was bad. So what I was thinking at the time was, I'm like, if I can get their Baneling cocoons killed before they hatch, I've got this pretty much wrapped up. What happened was I put all of my Zerglings there and they just blew up and killed them all. I could have put one or two Zerglings there, and a couple of their Banelings would have blown up as soon as they hatched. Just right on those Zerglings when they attacked them. I could have made them waste those resources and have to expend themselves to kill those Zerglings. I didn't. Just kind of live and learn. So after that, we're both making spine crawlers, both trying to protect ourselves a little bit. I'm making a lair because I want to get to roaches and to hydras. They already have a lair, so they've been spending pretty well. And I'm supply blocked because they killed one of my... Actually, they're supply blocked because I just killed their overseer. And we're just going. We're making our stuff. They're building an army, and I am double expanding across the map. You may wonder why I'm double expanding across the map. That's a good question, because it actually doesn't make much sense. I was double expanding so that I could have two bases that they hopefully wouldn't find. Since they knew I was down here and I knew they were up there, I was thinking we're probably not going to touch this part of the map. I can just get two bases, get them going, get that extra economy, and get that extra larva production. The thing is, I'm not spending fast enough for my economy to be an issue. I need to put workers on this to get Thespian geysers. But other than that, I have plenty of minerals. I'm not getting hurt there. And if I want extra larvae, I could have just made a base here and a macro hatch there. Which a macro hatch is just a hatchery that's basically not being used to get minerals. It's just used to get larvae. But I could have done that if I wanted more larvae and more units. Instead, I build across the map, which doesn't make too much sense. So what I have done is I've thrown a Zergling in every corner to try to see if they expanded anywhere. So I found their base there. I know they have those bases. And they don't see my units, apparently. But they're going around the outside. They're doing the same thing. They're checking for every base. So they're going to find these bases anyway, which are completely undefended and too far away from any of my other bases to get defense. So their guys are just attack moving wherever. And they're just doing it line to line to line. So I'm about to make a 5th base over here. And you may have noticed, I'm making a lot of bases, but my army production slowed down a ton. My overlord production slowed down a bit. I'm making some more structures. My opponent's been steadily making units. So that's one thing that I'm doing really poorly right now. There's 2 Hydralisks, 15 overlords. Apparently I do not want to get supply blocked again. Little fight going on over there. Gonna kill that queen. Gonna try to get over and kill the hatchery, but they attack into me. And with good reason, they can run over me with that. And right now, we're 10 minutes into the game. Neither of us have attack upgrades. They have some utility upgrades, movement. I have a movement upgrade. But neither of us have attack upgrades, and now I'm making a spire. I'm making more tech. This is Zerg vs. Zerg. I need to be making units. I have 5 bases, 5 hatcheries, and I'm still not making units, not even swarming Zerglings. I've got to have at least, 20 larvae. I could just make a quick 40 Zerglings right now, but I'm not doing it. Even if Zerglings aren't the most effective thing right now, I should be making a bunch of something. So they're making triple Evo chambers. And this game has gotten very passive for a Zerg vs. Zerg game. And while it's being passive, I'm building base and doing a lot of nothing right now with all of my stuff, making 7 Mutalisks. And they've been raising an army, and now they're making some upgrades, and they're making more army. Those guys are still... You may notice this trend in my play at this part. I have a bunch of Zerglings in a corner doing nothing. So now they're coming down to attack. They have 104 army supply. I have 66. Over the past 5 minutes, my supplies for army has gone up 10. Now it's gone up 20, but they're about to attack with overwhelming numbers. And you may imagine, this doesn't look like it's going to go well for your dad. And now I'm making some Zerglings. I'm also making Infestation Pit for some reason. But I'm just going to get swarmed over right now. Upgrades are about to be made for my opponent, but the game's basically over for me right now anyway. And as I surrender, their upgrades just finish. So, because even though I have these 2 bases over here, they're not going to be able to hold against an army that's wiped my main. Which is another reason to have these. These can act as buffers for an armor coming, or armor for an army coming. They can be health buffers, because they are going to want to destroy all your hatcheries and stuff on their way marching to your main base. And that would be a good thing to actually take advantage of. Those 18 Zerglings, that wouldn't have made a difference, because they've got Zerglings there too. But if I've been producing units for these minerals and gas the whole time, especially off of 5 bases, none of us were upgrading. They upgraded at the end, I still hadn't, but I could have swarmed over them. So one thing I did wrong was I stopped making units in a ZvZ. And that's not really that good. And I jumped pretty quickly to Hydras and then to Mutalisks. And that just didn't they're not really worth their weight that late in the matchup, it seems. Because my opponent was on Hydras. If they were on all Roaches and Zerglings, those 7 or 9 Mulisks would have been great. But it turns out it wasn't. I can't reinforce my base with these guys, and it's just over. So that was this Zerg vs. Zerg game, and there's a few things I learned during this. One thing is that I need to learn Banelings. I just need to learn how to use Banelings. Another thing was that these bases literally did nothing for me. After he attacked this one, I forgot about it. I droned this one up, had a queen, tried to inject, but obviously missed a lot of them. And I just forgot about those bases. These two, I didn't forget about. But if I had a third one, that would have been helpful. So, secret bases and really large bases for me at this point are not really worth it. 2 bases in a macro hatchery are pretty easy for me to control. 3 bases I've gotten decently used to, as long as it's close by. But a large roving expansion, like double base thing, doesn't really work for me. At least not yet. So, expand near my base so I can reinforce it, and so I can repopulate my army if I need to. It makes defense easier, makes offense easier. It just seems better. Learn Banelings. And one of the last really big things is, well, it's kind of two-pronged. Paying attention to the army I'm trying to build. I was trying to go Roach Hydras. For the longest time, I was just on 1 gas, even though I had 3 made. So make sure you're actually filling out the requirements you need for your build order. And make upgrades. At this point in the game, 14 minutes in, instead of me being on 0-0 upgrades and then being on 1-1, which didn't kick in until after I surrendered, I could have been on 3-3 upgrades. When I have my Hydras up here attacking, I could have been on 2-2 upgrades easily. Easily. And that could have made a huge difference. That 2 attack and that 2 extra defense can be massive in an even fight like that, or a fight where the numbers are very similar. So those are lots of key things I learned, which aren't huge revelations, but Banelings are a good thing to learn in ZvZ. They're not necessary, but they help, at least being able to use them. Don't just do ridiculous expansions for no real constructive reason. Keep building units, especially when I'm not scouting. I need to scout to know if I can stop building units. And make my upgrades on time. Make my upgrades and pay attention to my build order. So, that was Zerg vs. Zerg. Didn't win, but I did learn some pretty cool stuff. And that's what really matters. I'm learning stuff as I'm going, trying to improve my game. So, hopefully you liked this video. If you did, feel free to leave some comments, hit the like button. If you didn't like it, also feel free to leave some comments or hit that dislike button. It's right down there too. And until next time, I've been your dad. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time.